This is a video of what happens when you enable a feature of Tesla yourself without Tesla's permission. Think I'm kidding? Well, this whole YouTube channel was built on my struggles of me getting parts for this car that you see in front of you that I built going on 5 years now. Now, in between projects, I called Tesla out on their mistakes, and a year ago, I told you guys about the eMMC chip issue that plagues older Teslas, where the car slows down to a crawl until it stops working altogether, forcing you to go back to Tesla to spend $2,000, only for it to happen again eventually. And before that video, there was how not to get ripped off buying a used Model 3, where buyers were getting the car's tax credits and then selling the cars again for retail pricing. Also, how we improved the design of the Tesla door handles never to fail, and Tesla versus the NHTSA, where Tesla refused to swap the mandatory recall airbags on a car until I made a video on it and they decided to obey the law. Then, last but not least, the infamous "Has Tesla Gone Too Far" video, where a customer came in for service while on a road trip. Tesla removed supercharging ability on his car, didn't tell him, and when he got to the nearest supercharger during his trip, his car wouldn't charge. He wasn't near any other level 2 charging, and it left him and his family stranded. Now, this was over 2 years ago, and I put these things out of my mind. So when I got an email linking to a recent article about Tesla disabling supercharging, I laughed because I thought it was a rehash of a 2-year-old story. But I read the article, and it was more of the same. Tesla to disable supercharging on vehicles that are salvage cars, or it doesn't seem fit to use their charging network, which they provide as a service. My opinion on that? Well, it's really up to them. It's Tesla's network, they own it, and they determine that a specific car shouldn't use their resources, then quite frankly, they have every right to do that. They don't want cars with their charging infrastructure that were put together by anyone else but Tesla because they may have been repaired improperly, and when a Tesla blows up, it makes the news, and it's bad publicity for the company. Now, a regular Tesla fresh from the factory has no problem exploding on its own, and they don't want to add improperly repaired cars to that mix too. So I understand. However, I read the article and it looks like Tesla has updated their policy quite a bit, and it's starting to get a little creepy. Now, here's an updated copy of Tesla's salvage car policy. Now, it says Tesla doesn't recommend buying a car that's salvage until Tesla can confirm that it's up to Tesla's standards to drive. The car can be unsafe to you, Tesla employees, or Tesla's equipment. Now, I really appreciate Tesla looking out for its employees, and they usually do, except when they have to ramp up Model 3 production and Tesla is having employees work in an outdoor tent, producing cars and racking up OSHA violations. But that's fine. I will say, however, this is where it gets creepy. Tesla uses the following resources to determine whether or not a vehicle has been classified as salvage: government or regulatory agencies. What are the regulatory agencies? Let's look this up. Hold on. They're going to call the DEA after me? The FTC, the ATF. They will also use Tesla-approved body shops, results of other internal investigations, Carfax, and internet forums and vehicle auction sites. Tesla is going full crazy ex-girlfriend on you. They're searching forums now, internet chat rooms. Yo, ASL, what's your zodiac sign? You got an illegal Tesla? Or vehicle auction sites? Do they even have this manpower? Tesla is short-staffed as it is, and just think, okay, when you call them and they don't answer the phone, there's a guy who is browsing forums looking for VIN numbers to snitch on people. There is an internal Tesla snitch, and I'm sure they take their jobs very seriously. Now, Tesla apparently fired the guy that's in charge of making sure your body panels line up and hired the snitch instead. But it gets better, folks. Now, here's where I get a lot of this verbiage that says you can't bring a steaming pile and expect Tesla to repair it, which I understand. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can't just bring a car off the street and expect Tesla employees to work on it, especially if it's unsafe. I get that. Any warranties are void, okay, standard practice, and you can still use your mobile app, which is good, okay, but they terminate supercharging now. Now, a while back, you can get your car recertified and get supercharging working. Now they won't even allow supercharging again. But hold on, access to third-party fast chargers. Those aren't superchargers. Tesla doesn't own that. You don't own that network, so you can't access third-party fast charging either. This reach is extending beyond Tesla's network alone. It gets more bizarre the more you read. Tesla has every right to disable supercharging on any vehicle it thinks is unsafe. Again, I get that. You don't want to destroy the supercharging infrastructure, but also make it so you can't charge fast charging via third party either? That just seems weird. Let's keep going. If a Tesla has been found to enable supercharging and or fast charging through a third-party charger, Tesla may take legal action and seek compensation. So Tesla's going to sue me? Notice they didn't say if a person uses a supercharger when they shouldn't be. They just said if you enable it. So if I enable it and don't use a supercharger, I'll have a lawsuit on my hands potentially. So my question is, who owns the car? Literally, you don't own the car, people. I get that Tesla doesn't want you to use their supercharger, but they can seek legal compensation if you modify your car to enable supercharging. Then in the next sentence, contact Tesla if you learn of modifications that will enable supercharging or third-party charging by an unsupported vehicle. Now they want you to snitch? Tesla has officially lost their damn minds. So wait, Tesla's all about safety, right? Why not make the classes that you teach public? Why not have the classes to more than just Tesla body shops and like 3 random community colleges? If they want the cars to be mainstream, why aren't you teaching more people about how to be safe around them instead of having this veil of secrecy around the cars? And best of all, why not charge for the glasses and make some more money? Not everyone wants to be a body shop and require $250,000 in tools. Some places just want to be able to inspect, repair the cars, and send them on their way so they don't have weeks for a service center call. Just like the electrified garage. One of the reasons why electrified garage works so well is because there are literally 2 former Tesla employees that run the shop. That kind of information doesn't really exist anywhere else. Now, on a side note, I found the world's highest mileage Tesla Model X. I want to buy this car. You can definitely check it out here. It's only $36,000, but it has 400,000 miles, which I think if you talk them down to the low 30s, that's definitely a good deal. The only problem is I don't have 36 grand kicking around, so I gotta free up some funds. Thankfully, Upstart literally has my back once again. If you want to get the funds for something like this with a smart interest rate or pay off the black hole that's credit card debt, they're the way to roll. They view you as more than just a credit score, and they make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it won't affect my less than savory credit score. For that time, I got too excited to build an electric garage and buy 2,395 Milwaukee tools and a corresponding number of chicken wings. Upstart views you as more than just a credit score. They reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter interest rate. The best part is, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people will get their funds the very next business day. Bam! See why Upstart is top ranked in the category with over 300 businesses on the Trustpilot. Swing on over to upstart.com/richrebuilds to find out how low your rate is. Only takes a few minutes. Thank you, Upstart, for sponsoring your boy Uncle Rich yet again. But on a serious note, I'd buy that car without hesitation because of the electrified garage. If you do buy it, let us know. We can check it out for you. It's a perfect car to start your YouTube career. Now, back to what I was saying. You literally don't own the car. Tesla is quote-unquote preventing problems before they arise by proactively disabling supercharging from vehicles. Now, those cars haven't even used their network. It's very similar to being guilty until proven innocent. Now, the reason why I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around this is that Tesla is going into the cars they don't own and making modifications. Now, the better way, in my opinion, but what do I know, to do it would be to have a protocol live on the superchargers themselves. Right now, the ability for a car to supercharge lives on the car, so Tesla sends the signal to the car and they can toggle supercharging on or off. If the ability to supercharge was determined by the charger itself, that's a much easier pill to swallow because Tesla isn't extending their reach into the cars they no longer own. They're just adding a list of VIN numbers that shouldn't be able to charge at the chargers themselves, and when the person tries to use it, they're denied because the supercharger says no to the car. Now, that's what's really getting to me is also them reaching to third-party fast chargers as well as Tesla. So not only reaching into their car, they're also reaching to things beyond their own network that they're trying to protect. Now, disabling charging before anyone uses it is like someone else cutting your penis off just in case you were planning on having sex. You didn't have sex, nor were you planning on it, but we're going to cut it off just in case. And that example was a reach. I'd much rather have Tesla remove the network capability from the cars themselves once they're in an accident, meaning they can kill the data plan, which Tesla pays for, so we know to leave the cars in the scrapyard. Now let's have a general discussion about these connected cars. As upset as I want to be at these manufacturers for things that they can do, I find it completely amazing at their capability. For example, this is an all-wheel drive long-range Tesla Model 3. It costs $48,990. Now this is a performance long-range Tesla Model 3 that costs $56,990. That gives you better performance. Now quick math, that's a price difference of $8,000. And the difference? Software. Literally over the air, Tesla can make your car worth $8,000 more, but on the flip side, $8,000 less. Same thing with self-driving. Tesla charges $7,000 more for this, but the car already has the hardware built into it. All Tesla has to do is pretty much check a box and your car has a feature that most auto manufacturers would have to install physical hardware for, which quite frankly is genius from a cost savings and automation standpoint. Now here's where it gets weird. When you buy your Tesla Model 3 or any other Tesla and pay extra for self-driving, Tesla assigns that to an individual, meaning you. So when you trade in the car to Tesla, guess what? You paid for that service for your enjoyment, not the next person. So when Tesla goes to sell that car, the new person has to pay for the self-driving again. It's actually genius. So in theory, if a Model 3 is sold back to Tesla 3 times, they could stand to make $21,000 off of one car without touching it. Not bad, huh? And they also reserve the right to remove the service of any car at any time. Now that we know how much control Tesla has, let's touch back to Tesla and employee safety. Now, if a car gets into an accident and someone puts it back together wrong, to bring it to Tesla to fix, the issue is safety, which again, I get. Post-collision, you don't know the state of the battery, if it's a ticking time bomb, or how much of it was damaged. But do you believe that? Do you think the company that built the cars can't tell the status of the battery? Do you think the company that was bragging about the car can proactively order parts for itself when it needs service? Can't tell if the car is safe to drive and operate? Do you feel my sarcasm building? Because they can. There's typically 16 24-volt battery modules in a Tesla pack. Each one has its own BMS. Not only that, but you can actually segment those and get even more granular to see which specific cells have a lower voltage reading. Before the car even starts to supercharge or even turn on for that matter, the BMS runs internal tests to make sure it's safe to close the contactors and activate the 400-volt system. The BMS also monitors all internal temps, so you have about a 0% chance of starting a fire if the BMS passes all the tests. Tesla can see all the faults in the car remotely. So when Tesla says they don't know something or they're uncertain about safety, why not just hire the guy that's in charge of searching forums for VIN numbers for cars to help out? Now, before I wrap up, I just want to clarify one last thing. Now, a while back, someone said I wasn't about the mission and how I'm making Tesla look bad, and if I don't like the cars, I should just sell them. Number one, I don't know what your mission is or what that means. Number two, I'm a Tesla shareholder, so every time someone asks what EV they should get, Tesla usually comes up in that conversation. And as a result, thousands of people have purchased Teslas because of watching the videos. Now, their cars aren't perfect and everyone knows they aren't, but when I call Tesla out, I'm accused of being a hater. After the Vice special, weeks later, Tesla changes their stance on prior salvage cars, allowing people to buy parts. And because of my videos, they allowed my friend to get his airbag replaced under the Dakota recall, which Tesla refused originally. I literally own a garage that repairs and services Teslas. Now, whether you think I'm wrong or right, and whether my methods are less than conventional, that's fine. But I'm fighting for something. I want Tesla to do better and be better. So before you take shots at me, ask yourself, what are you doing? I'll see you all next week.